respected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Being mixed-raced and identifying as mixed-raced has been a bit of a turmoil for me because sometimes I couldn't really accept that I was another half, and I was always getting pulled between these two mindsets and these two emotions of myself that was like...
Just one of those situations where I feel like I couldn't do anything because this was my race, and that, like, I can't change anything about that, but you just feel it's a really hard thing to explain, but just like the way people talk sometimes or mannerisms, I feel like I couldn't pick up on it purely because I wasn't their race.
Do you feel like you are outsider to other people of colour because you were black or Pakistani?
No.
You're Sri Lankan?
Yeah. I feel, because obviously, like, I don't really know that many Sri Lankan people in my family, but yeah, definitely, because I feel like even when I go back to Sri Lanka, even though I don't consider that home, but it's my parents' homes, I feel like an outsider there because obviously I've got Western ideals. But then when I meet Sri Lankan people here, they're like, oh, you're very, like, you know, because there's that whole term of whitewashed and all that stuff. But yeah, I've never really, I feel like race is such a thing that I separate myself from, because I don't feel like I can associate myself with any sort of race. So it's a bit weird.
Do you feel guilty because of that?
Not guilty, but out of place in the sense of, like, so when people talk about cultures and stuff, and, like, for example, because I go to art uni, loads of people reference their own culture in their work, which is amazing. Like, I love seeing it, but I feel like I could never do that sort of stuff, like putting Sri Lankan culture into my art, even though I'd love to. But I feel like if I was to, I'd feel like an imposter because I don't really appreciate Sri Lankan culture as much as I should, I feel like. But, like, my mum is obviously very Sri Lankan, very religious in the sense of Sri Lankan Hinduism. And I really respect it, but I just know it's not for me.
Times, it's been questioned at times, you know, maybe I act more white than some people would want or would expect. Some people, I don't think anyone's ever accused me of acting too black, but I would maybe be, like, racialized as black in certain spaces. But then what I've had to come to sort of, like, an understanding about is, even though I may have had experiences where I've been racialized as black, I am still mixed race. I'm not actually black, and I'm absolutely more than happy for people to identify me as that. But sometimes I don't feel comfortable to identify as a black woman because I know, like, my experiences in the world would be a lot different to, like, especially a dark-skinned black woman like my mum. So I do feel quite careful around, like, around labels and stuff, but ultimately I've become really comfortable in just accepting what I am.